This is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 28th of September until the 5th of October, 2020. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Nine of Swords. Your experience of the world is greatly influenced by your expectations, desires, and fears, and therefore you are largely the creator of your own world, and your attitudes determine how you experience that world. The Nine of Swords can also reflect fear of the future, or what may possibly happen in the future. If you allow yourself to be bound by fear of the future, you are at risk of eventually creating a negative reality for yourself by virtue of your expectations. Your nightmare becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy, which is clearly not a desirable outcome. Generally, this card is an indication that you are worrying excessively about a situation. You are literally being kept up at night because you are so anxious about a particular issue. It is possible you are working yourself up unnecessarily, and, if you were to look at the situation more objectively, you may come to realize that it is not as bad as you are making it out to be. In fact, all that worry and despair is what is making it worse, so rather than fretting about it, do something to change it. Although most people experience fear, frustration and uncertainty at some point in their lives, you should not allow those negative emotions to immobilize you or keep you from pursuing your goals with enthusiasm and hope. Expect at least some level of uncertainty in the future, and draw upon your inner strength to remain as flexible and adaptable to that uncertainty as possible. The Nine of Swords can also indicate that you are being incredibly hard on yourself, putting yourself down or engaging in negative self-talk. For every mistake you make, you blame yourself and become worked up and angry at yourself for messing up again. So, ask yourself why you are being so hard on yourself. How are you putting yourself down, or what is the source of your depression? What can you do to make yourself feel better? The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Eight of Swords. What do you want most right now is not feeling trapped by your own thoughts and perspectives. The woman in this card is blindfolded and bound, trapping her into thinking that she has no way out. However, if only she could remove the blindfold and change her thinking, she would see that she does indeed have options. So, the Eight of Swords suggests that you need to look at a difficult situation from a new angle. Draw upon your intellectual self and your emotional self to determine the best path forward, one that avoids any possible victimization or restriction. The Eight of Swords is often a sign that it is best not to make any important decisions at this point because your thinking has been limited and constrained by self-imposed boundaries. You are struggling to see a situation for what it is and have been led to believe certain things that may or may not be true. There are choices available, but first you must be within the right mindset to know which option to choose. This means releasing the bindings and the blindfold to see the situation from a different, less imposing angle. There may also be too many ideas running through your head, thus it is best to wait until you feel more secure and certain about a situation before making important decisions and taking action. If you see part of this woman in yourself, then it is imperative you take back your power and personal accountability and open your eyes to the options that lie in front of you. The fact is that you do have options, even if you do not like those options. This is fine, so long as you accept that you do indeed have options and you do not have to be the victim here. The Eight of Swords portrays a dilemma whereby you are faced with the difficulty of a painful decision and you are at an impasse, uncertain of which way to go. However, what you may not realize is that the decision in the Eight is the result of our own actions. Despite the fact that you have boxed yourself into a corner, there is a way out. The solution is simply to deal with the situation in the most direct yet tactful manner possible, and face your choice with inner strength. It is time to be honest with yourself and others in order to be free of the burden of fear or guilt that is implied with the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords can indicate that your interests will be opposed by other people, and this may create restrictions to what it is you want to achieve. Take back your power and realize that you have options whether others oppose you or not. You do not have to be constrained by their way of thinking or their rules. The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the Four of Swords. You are afraid of losing some of your project deadlines, therefore, you are feeling restless and wanting to do everything at once. Even if your body is telling you that you need to rest and relax, your mind may be pushing you forward, trying to accomplish a long list of tasks. You may be getting quite sick or stressed as a result, so it is vital that you force yourself to pause and take it easy to ensure that you do not become completely run down and exhausted. You may also be trying to avoid any period of contemplation or meditation on a particular issue because you are worried about what it might bring up. You need to return to the energy of the Three of Swords and confront the pain and grief that exists within your heart. You need to experience that pain as it is preventing you from being able to move on. Once you have experienced it, it will begin to subside and you will be able to live a more fulfilling life. The Four of Swords can also represent stagnation and a lack of action that is leading to increased frustration. For example, a long-term marriage is no longer progressing and is spiritually and emotionally empty. You may need to take a break from this stalled situation and come back to it when the energy is flowing better. Similarly, the Four of Swords suggests that you are feeling frustrated with the lack of progress and change in your life. Many things have stood still or have failed to change in the way you were hoping they would. Part of this lack of change, however, is as a result of your passive approach. There may have been situations that were frustrating to you or that you were unhappy with, but you may have opted to just sit it out and hope that they would eventually change, rather than taking action to create a more desirable outcome. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the Ace of Swords. This is a period of great insight and mental clarity. It signifies a breakthrough or an aha moment where suddenly conscious understanding and mental reasoning reach their peak, and achievement of goals suddenly becomes a lot easier. You have a new understanding of some issue that has been of concern, or, in a broader sense, a new worldview, especially in terms of your love and work relationship. This is a perfect time to clear away the fog that has kept you from seeing the inner truth, so that you can now cut to the heart of the matter. This is also a good time to act, and if you set your mind to accomplishing your goals, you can achieve anything you desire. The Ace of Swords highlights a new idea, inspiration, original thinking and creative vision. It represents a point at which you have a new way of thinking and the energy to go with it. You are excited to pursue new opportunities that draw upon your creative and mental abilities. The Ace of Swords also encourages you to seek out the truth of the matter and to find justice. You may be championing a cause or standing up for your rights or the rights of others. Thus sometimes, the Ace of Swords can suggest that you are prepared for battle. You have great clarity on a situation and can now argue your case with the view to come out victorious. You may have a new idea for which you are ready to fight, or you may be all fired up on an issue that you are particularly passionate about, such as human rights, the environment or your personal beliefs. This card invites you to use mental force and to use your intellect and critical reasoning. If faced with a challenging situation, you need to be ready for battle and be prepared to find the strength to overcome these challenges. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Ten of Wands. You are unnecessarily holding on to this burden when you do not need to. If you are feeling weighed down by your present circumstances, look at different ways you can lighten the load. Can you delegate certain tasks and responsibilities? Are you worrying about matters that do not concern you or cannot be changed? Do not become a martyr and take on more than you can realistically handle. If you are going through a challenging time, then this card indicates that this time will soon pass and you will feel less of a burden weighing on your shoulders. You may be actively identifying those activities that do not bring you any value in your life, and you are starting to release yourself from these unnecessary responsibilities. You may even be going through a purging process, clearing out old clothes and selling old furniture, in order to declutter and simplify your life. You will benefit from better organization and prioritization at this time. On the other hand, you might be avoiding responsibility and making it even more difficult for others who must take on your share. Thus, the saying, "You have made your bed, now lie in it," is very appropriate for this card. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the Two of Wands. You have been able to take your idea and turn it into a feasible plan that you know will lead to your success. It is no longer just an idea, but you now have a plan in place to ensure that your idea is carried out as you had intended. The Two of Wands is also about discovery, particularly as you step outside of your comfort zone and explore new worlds and new experiences. It may take some courage to take the first step, but this card gives you the confidence of self-knowledge. You know what your goal is, what your creative process is directing for you, and you are confident in its eventual fulfillment. The Two of Wands indicates that you will begin to consider your longer-term goals and aspirations and will plan ahead for what you need to do to achieve these goals. You have already come so far, but now you feel it is ready for a change, this time with your long-term future in mind. You may be considering overseas travel, further education or a major career change at this point in order to expand your learning and development, and to grow your horizons beyond your immediate environment. With careful planning, and a moderated approach, you will set yourself up for success in the future. The twos in tarot often represent decisions of some sort. In the case of the Two of Wands, you are making a decision between sticking with what you know, or expanding your horizons and taking a risk. You know that the world has to offer you something bigger or more meaningful, yet you are also aware that in order to maximize on this opportunity, you must leave your familiar grounds. Even though you have already invested a lot into your current circumstances, for you to be able to grow and to maximize your potential, it is imperative that you step out into a new world and explore your options. This card shows the patience and focus of your intent. You have got the ball rolling and have started out on your journey, so now it is time to patiently wait for your rewards and watch as your ideas begin to materialize. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the life experience. You drew this card because a recent event has been a wake-up call for you to make some life changes. This may be a new revelation or something you've known but have been procrastinating about. Now you've realized that this situation can't be ignored and action is necessary. This is a moment both of freedom and awakening. The way you see yourself and the world has forever changed, bringing you growth and encouraging you to spread your wings. Allow these new insights to motivate you to embrace the path of your heart's true desires and intuition. Additional meanings of this card: liberation, suddenly seeing the truth, rapid, inevitable change, time running out. Archangel Chamuel can help you find whatever you're seeking, including right relationships and a divinely guided career. Call upon Chamuel and then follow your intuition, which is the way this angel speaks to you.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.